Hi, I'm Dr. Greg Stern, Stern Chiropractic, helping you and your kids maximize your health, performance, and quality of life naturally. Well, I've been getting a whole lot of requests, both in the office and out, for my recipe for kombucha. So that's what we're going to do today. Kombucha is a fermented probiotic tea. Probiotics are those good gut bugs that we all need to have good digestion and a well-functioning immune system. So I've got all the ingredients in front of me, and I'm going to show you how to make kombucha right now. What do you need? You need a pot with a gallon of water, some organic sugar, a measuring cup, that's a 1 cup measuring cup, some organic tea. I like to use flavored tea, and you need a strainer as well as a mixing spoon. And then this is a 1 gallon glass jar that I got at Walmart. You need a gallon glass jar with a lid that just sits on top but doesn't seal. And inside, I've actually got a fully fermented batch of kombucha that I'm going to harvest today. Lastly is what's inside and on top of the kombucha, which is a SCOBY. And a SCOBY is a patty made up of the microbes that ferment to give you the good probiotics. And you know what? This tea tastes fantastic. I actually make 2 gallons at a time because I've got a growing son who drinks 1 liter of this a day. So let's get started on how to make the kombucha. Like every good cooking show, I have pre-planned, and I have a pot of boiling water, and I've got my sugar ready to go. So all you've got to do is put 1 1/4 cups of sugar right into the boiling water. Stir it around so it mixes in. Turn off the heat. Put your tea bags in. Put the top over there so it holds the tea bags. And now you let those tea bags sit in the boiling water for 8 minutes. Well, welcome back. Through the magic of video editing, our 8 minutes is up and we're done steeping our tea. So all we got to do now is remove the tea bags. And we let the pot sit until it's cool, at which point we'll be able to transfer it into the glass jar and put the SCOBY in so it can start fermenting. Now, while we're waiting for this to cool, just so you know, below this video, I've put a link to the recipe for kombucha that you can download so you can do this at home while watching this video if you like. And if you do go ahead and make the kombucha, please post a comment with some pictures on my Facebook page, Stern Chiropractic. So let's let this cool, and I'll be back with you shortly. And we're back again. The brew of sugar tea has cooled down, and now it's time to harvest the kombucha that's been fermenting and start a new brew. Hygiene is vital at this point. It's important throughout, but make sure you've thoroughly washed your hands before you touch the SCOBY and before you work with the kombucha. And then each time you touch the SCOBY, make sure to wash your hands. You don't want to get outside bacterial and viral elements into the SCOBY that may infect it and make it into a SCOBY that is no longer functional, producing good probiotics for you. So what do? Well, I've already washed my hands, so I'll go ahead and just remove the lid from the kombucha that has been fermenting for the last 3 weeks. I reach in here and I pull out the SCOBY, and I put it on my favorite kombucha plate, a plate my daughter made for me probably 14 years ago, and it's been my favorite ever since. And this is the SCOBY. Again, the good microbes that allow for you to have better health, digestion, and immune function. So I go ahead and set this aside. And for us, I like to put the kombucha into glass bottles. It's just easier for us. You can use any glass container. Metal is not good. The SCOBY is not supposed to touch any metal. There's pieces of the SCOBY that get into your beverage, and that's okay. You can drink the little pieces of the SCOBY. It's perfectly safe and fine, but you don't want to put it in a metal container. And plastic isn't very good as well, as it does absorb some of the odors and other things as related to the kombucha. So I do recommend glass. So for us, I go ahead and just dip a cup in here and pour it right into the bottle. And so I'll do this throughout the full 2 gallons that I make each time. All right, well, I've got all my kombucha bottled up. I can see a nice effervescence on the side of the bottle, which tells me that it's fermented very nicely. I have had a little bit of a taste and it's delicious. So now it's time to brew the new kombucha that we just made. So I've thoroughly washed out my fermenting jar. I just placed it in the sink here. I grabbed my cooled off sugar tea. And I just pour it into the glass jar. Now I'll just rinse my hands off a little bit away from the brew. Grab one of the SCOBYs that I was using to ferment the last batch. Just place it right into the top of the jar and tea. Put the lid back on. And I've got a new batch ready to ferment. And lastly, welcome to the Kombucha Brew House, my fermentatorium. As you can see, I've got 2 batches of 2 gallons each fermenting. The new batch over on the left, that's the one without the cups on top. I put the cups on top of the ones that are going to be ready to be harvested next. But this is it. That's the whole process. Again, this batch will sit for 3 weeks fermenting just in a dark cabinet, room temperature. Then you take it out and you do the process all over again. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you brew your own kombucha. If you'd like a SCOBY, please reach out and ask. I'm happy to share my extra SCOBYs with you, because every time you brew a batch, a little baby SCOBY forms. So you end up having a lot of extra SCOBYs. And again, if you do brew a batch, please go to my Facebook page, Stern Chiropractic, and share your pictures and story. And finally, go to sternchiro.com and go to the newsletter section, and please enjoy all of our 18 years worth of health and wellness newsletters. Thank you. Have a great day. Peace.